All right, you guys know that every week I talk about having a pressure plan, having a pressure plan, having a pressure plan. So frustrated with the Texans on Monday night because they had no pressure plan for what Tampa was going to do, and you knew Tampa was going to blitz, okay? So let's talk through it right here, okay? So Tampa right here, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys up at the line of scrimmage, okay? Right now, we've got 6 blockers here for the Texans. So we should have all of those guys picked up right here. Okay, so the extra guys for us are going to be these guys right here. So as a quarterback, I know we're going to take the 6 most dangerous guys right here. I've got to worry about if they bring the extra guy. Okay, and based on this look here, you got to assume this guy's going to cover right here. Now, even though this guy comes down and probably has the back, a lot of teams will bring that extra guy in these types of looks, the blitz zero types looks, because they expect the back to block. And then if he goes out on a route, they peel with him, but they're trying to get that extra defender blitzing here, okay? So as a quarterback, I got to know that. There's my guy, okay? Now look at this, okay? So we know the extra guy's coming. We have to know the extra guy's coming. And look at this route right here. We've got a one-step slant right here. Like, throw the ball. This is what I'm talking about. It's both scheme-wise, you got to make sure that you have a built-in answer, and the quarterback has to have a plan going, okay, if they bring the extra guy, then I've got to throw it, okay? The other side of this, so we've got a built-in, what I call a side adjust on the backside. So normally when you have a solo receiver, they don't necessarily always have a quick route. So if their guy that they're responsible for, the safety, comes, then we side adjust it. We have a hitch, we have a slant, we have something quick there that we side adjust. Okay? The other side of this is that the 3 receiver side is where you usually have your hot route. So kind of built-in hot routes. Okay? So I think this is Nico right here that's going vertical. Okay? The other thing that I would love to see is he doesn't have to change his route. He doesn't have to adjust it. If he's running a deep route, that's no problem. But what I want him to do is when he comes off the ball and he sees everything disappear, the blitzers come from his side, just peek. Just look as you're coming off. Right there, just look. Okay? If he feels there's pressure and he looks right there, it gives CJ another option of hitting a guy here, going vertical. He becomes one-on-one with that defender, or we've got the one step right here. So there's options here on this particular play to be able to get this ball out of our hands. And CJ is actually looking at it over here and then just waits and, probably should have thrown an interception. Obviously, there's 2 guys sitting there waiting for this ball. Okay? So I like going to the end zone copy on these as well. Okay? So, and again, it depends on how teams like to build this, but here's how I see it. Okay? So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So these guys are the down linemen. So you always want to identify who the down linemen are in a particular situation because you want your back on the linebacker types, okay? So that means we're going to slide, we're going to slide, we're going to slide to those big guys. This tackle is going to slide to the big guys. We want big on big, okay? And now, depending on what the protection is, whether the back's going strong or weak, will determine which way the left guard and the back block, okay? So let's just go right here. We're saying the offensive line is sliding to the right, the back goes left, so the back's going to come up and he's going to take the linebacker right there. And then you see in this picture what I was talking about before. These are our hot guys, okay? To me, I would call it a hot guy to the right because it's my 3 receivers and I should have some kind of built-in quick throw to the right. I call it a side adjust to my left because it's to the solo receiver side. And we have to adjust off of that because we probably don't have a quick route. If we have a quick route, we don't have to adjust. We can just leave it on, okay? So that's how the Texans block it right here. We'll see, okay, real quick, I'll run it. Okay, you see that's how they block it, okay? And then the extra guy is that safety that we saw coming to the left. Okay, the other way that you can do this is you can say, okay, my 3 receivers are to the right. So I want my hot to be the right. I want my extra defender to be to the right. So if that's the case here, what we can do is we can call a slide here. So we can go offensive line here, put the back on the safety. Now, a lot of times you won't necessarily do that because you expect one of those guys to peel off on the back. And so you hope that he's a little slow coming and you can throw it off of him. But this is another way that you can do it. And then we can slide our entire offensive line and then do what we call a big duel here. So this guy drops back and he takes the most dangerous of the two. The outside guy comes and this guy peels, then he takes the outside guy. If they do it the opposite, where the inside guy comes and the outside guy drops off, okay, then he blocks the inside guy and we're good to go. But if we do that scenario, then I know I'm hot off of this guy. And it's no problem because, again, I have Nico right here. And if that's how we have our offense built with the 3 receiver side and the hot built in that he's going to look vertical, then I know everything on the backside is picked up. I know exactly where my hot guy is. If he comes here, which he does, okay, if he comes here, then boom, it's right out in front of me. And my job is to beat him with this throw right there to Nico Collins. And then Nico's got to go one-on-one and make that guy miss and get us the first down. Okay, so that's the other option that you can have on that particular play. All right, so this was a theme, and you knew it would be coming in. All right, so here we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we got 7 up there, and what do we got? We got 6 protectors once again for the Texans. All right, so we got to look at this and do the same sort of thing. What do we want to do here? Okay, and another part of the process could be, okay, what's my look or what's my throw to the bottom? Do I like a side adjust over there? Do I like the look that I get to that side? Okay, if that's the case, then we could leave the safety free and say, okay, point him out. Nico, if number, I think that's 31 there. I think that's Antoine Winfield. If 31 comes, you have to watch him. I'm going to watch him. We'll side adjust it because then we'll take the other 6 guys and we'll deal with it. Or we do what I said was a second scenario and we say, okay, my hot situation is to the left-hand side. And so I'm going to block the safety and then I'm going to slide this weak and I'm going to big duel the front side. And then this defensive end becomes my hot, but I feel good about it because I got 3 receivers up there and I should have a couple things built in that give me a good throw to the left-hand side. Okay? So which way are they going to do it? Okay? The Texans are going to do it. Okay, it looks like they're going to slide this guy to the backside safety. Okay, so if that was the case, then I would like the whole line to come down and we would leave this guy free. Now they bring their tight end in and it looks like he's going to chip to that side. And you see that we would have options over there. Maybe it's just a flat route. Maybe it's a vertical option over here to this side. But what you're going to notice on that play is, or on this play is the defensive end that I said if we're going to slide everything backside and protect it to our 3 receiver side, because what you notice is they seem to be weak. 1, 2, and then a safety in the middle of the field is the 3rd guy. And we've got 3 receivers over there. So they're really short to that side. That's why I think there's a good chance that somebody has to drop out to that side, okay? But where they get the Texans here is they should have this picked up, okay? Center and guard should have 1 and 2. I think this is Levante David here. He takes a step back as if he's going to drop. When he does that, the guard turns outside to try to help and pick up the safety, and then David comes with a delayed blitz. But regardless, we've got to know what the issue is here. And to me, you still have an issue because this tackle is going out to this guy right here. So with all these guys up there, you got to be ready to get the ball out of your hands quickly. You got to stay to your guy if you're the offensive line and safeties. You got to trust that everybody's going to do their job. Don't come off on somebody else's guy because that is what gives us a problem. Okay, so again, 2 scenarios. And what it looked like is, and maybe this back is reading David first and he steps back. So then he comes to the safety, which is another thing that I don't like, is that too many of these offenses are trying to say that the back will solve every issue. Okay, and what I mean by that is, okay, they're not going to bring both of these guys to the same side because one of them's got to cover the back. So we're going to let the back be responsible for 1 to 2 and try to solve all these issues. I hate that because now you get a false sense of security as a quarterback going, oh, man, we're going to protect everything. Well, they just showed us that they can bring the extra guy. They can bring 7 guys, so we're not protected. We can't answer every question, but we're trying to do that. The other thing that it does is this back steps up here because he's got to take the A gap, and then this guy comes on the outside, and now he's in a bad position to go block him, and he gets beat on the edge. So, to me, you have to make it clean, and you have to tell your quarterback, what are we doing? Are we going to take the 6 in the box, the most dangerous? Okay, if we are, then CJ, you're responsible for 31 on the right-hand side, and if it comes, you got to side adjust, you got to throw it quick one way or the other. Or we can slide everything back, and we can go all the way back here, okay, and turn everybody here, and let this tackle big duel again, and now I'm hot to my 3 receiver side off of that defensive end. Which are you going to do? One or the other. Okay, so either A, we're throwing a side adjust right here. And again, you see CJ, he's checking to something. He points, right? He's pointing over there to 31. And again, I don't know. Maybe he's changing the protection. I'm not sure, telling the back, go out there instead. But if that's the case and the back's going to go out there, okay, we've got the bodies here to basically protect this if we leave this guy free right here and he becomes our hot guy. But we've got to make a decision one way or the other. We can't be blind to just coming back and not having a quick throw and allowing this stuff to happen. And you guys know that I see this every week. So this isn't just something that, that's a one-time thing. All right, here we go again. Okay, so again, you knew Todd Bowles was going to do this. So you got to have a plan coming in. All right, in this situation with the slot up top, okay, there's nobody there except this guy. So I'm going to assume that guy's got to cover. Okay, so now I'm going to deal with these guys here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 once again. And we've only got 6 blockers. All right, so we've got to make our decision on how we're going to block this based off of where our hot adjustment, where our quick throws are, and that should be built into whatever we do. So if we're going to block it, we're going to take the 6 most dangerous. So that leaves this guy free to the right-hand side where the back is basically going 1 to 2 out here. Then our hot throw should be to the right-hand side. Whether that's an adjustment or a built-in, our hot throw should be to that side. Okay, that to me is how you really have to protect this right here because they're the most dangerous. You've got to protect it the same way. People are going to walk up in the A gaps because they're trying to do this, trying to get the back to step up here, and then they bring his guy off the edge, and it's really hard for him to decipher and clean all that up. Okay, so as we run it here, okay, so back's, instead of being able to attack from his position back here, so if the back's here, and he's able to know who his guy is, doesn't have 2 guys, he's got 1 guy, and he's able to go to him, he's got a better chance of stoning him here than if he steps up in the A gap and then has to turn and get outside and boom, he gets run over because he doesn't have the base and position to hold this off. Let's just make it solid protection. CJ, you're hot here. Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to big duel this tackle, and we're going to force them to bring both of these guys. If they drop one of those guys, you're good. If they bring both of those guys, then you're hot. They bring both of them. We got to have a hot throw. Where's the hot throw? What are we going to do to the right-hand side? We got to peek vertical. Okay, so our vertical guy. And it's not easy, okay, because we're into the short side here. We don't have a lot of space, but you got to peek. And I got to catch and get this ball out. Or we've got some sort of quick throw here that I can win with. But we've got to have an answer for our quarterback. Again, we're trying to say, hey, we can solve every problem. And we leave it on the back and the offensive line to decipher all this. And here we are. There's the throw. There it is. There's our quick throw. Right there. Sam's coming. I know I've got a quick built-in. Get back. Put the ball on him. Put the ball on him. Don't hold the ball. Don't try to throw it down the field. Understand what our issue is and get the ball on him. Instead, we take another sack. All right, so once again, we look at it from this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, how do we want to deal with it? We can only take 6 of them. Leave 1 for the quarterback. Leave one for him to decide instead of trying to get everybody to solve everything. And again, the quarterback to think everything is picked up. So here's what we're doing. Boom, boom, back stepping up and going here. We're going here. We're big dueling. 1 to 2, okay? I'm hot off of these two guys. They come, I have to hit the pop to the right-hand side. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Now the quarterback knows 23 is my guy. 23 comes and 5 falls off, I can have a full drop. But he's not even looking over there. He's assuming he's protected. And again, should be protected, but we put the back in a tough spot. But how I see him, boom, ball's out of my hands and everything is definitive for me moving forward. Okay, here we are again, right? We know that they're going to do this. Same sort of stuff, okay? They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys, we've got 6. Now they can chip the tight end or they can leave the tight end into block. And if they do that, we're in great shape. If I know that we've got 7 men protecting, then this guy or this guy, one of these guys outside that box is who I'm responsible as a quarterback. Okay, so again, we just define it. We know who we're responsible for as a quarterback, and we know what we've got to do. Okay, if we had an extra guy up top, we'd have to side adjust because it's the 3 receiver side down here. If one of those guys comes, we're throwing hot. Okay, and so there he is, right? So we've got the 7 guys blocked. These 7 guys we're responsible for. CJ, you're responsible for that guy. The guy outside of the initial 7 is your guy. He comes. All right, we got to throw it, right? We got to have a built-in. We've got to have some sort of answer here. And again, this guy's running a 10-yard out. Okay, so maybe it's speed it up. If you see pressure, speed it up to 5 yards. Maybe it's because it's a 10-yard route. When you come off, if the guy over your head blitzes, then I just need you to look. Just peek right there, and CJ puts it on him, and we've got all of this space to go make a guy miss and get a big play. We've got to have an answer, and more importantly, the quarterback's got to know, this is my guy. This is who I'm responsible for. He's going back, oblivious to all that, and he gets tripped up there, but ball's got to come out of your hands because the extra guy's coming, and now we're just holding it, and we try to make this throw down the field, and again, it's not this hard. When you define who the linemen in the back and the blockers are responsible for, and you define who the quarterback and the receivers are responsible for, it doesn't become as hard as it looks trying to decipher all this. So here's our picture again. Okay? We're saying we got 7 blockers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not complicated. 7 on 7. It's easy. Okay, back, you're going to the widest guy. Offensive line, you've got the middle 5. Tight end, you've got the guy off the edge to the other side. CJ, you're responsible for anybody else. Anybody else outside of this that comes, and the only guy that is possible is, it could be this safety or the safety that's sitting out here. That's the only guy because the backside's 1-on-1, so it's not there. So I know that the only option and problem I could have is somebody else coming to the left-hand side. Simple. It's not that hard. Okay, I get the snap. I look to the left. Here he comes. Okay, there's my issue. Instead, I don't know what's going on. I'm not paying attention to it because we're going to protect everything. And that's what we end up with. Okay, and again, it's a theme. It's not just a theme with the Texans. It's a theme with everybody across the NFL. And it's what frustrates me week in and week out. Okay, so here we go again. They've got 7 in the box. We've got 6 blockers. How do we want to handle it? Okay, so to me, what we're going to do is they've got 6 guys covering the line. So to me, I'm going to let my back, okay, now, again, there's different ways you do it. We'll look the other way. But I'm probably going to let my back because, again, I know that I've got a 3 receiver side over here. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slide my offensive line and I'm going to let them take the A-gaps. Okay, because I'm okay throwing hot. I have no problem throwing hot. And then I'm going to let my back take this stack backer right here. And so I'm going to be responsible as a quarterback for this guy right here. And why am I okay with that? Because there's nobody else to the right-hand side, right? I got 1, 2, 3 receivers over here, and there's nobody else there. Like, So somebody's going to have to pop out there. Somebody's going to have to get to that side to take away my hot. So I'm going to protect it this way, assuming it's going to be the defensive end here because of the look. Now, it doesn't have to be. They can easily pop the safety or the linebacker out here, but I'm going to beat him with the throw. Okay, so if this guy's my hot and that guy's got to go from the A-gap to popping outside, then I'm going to be hot there. If this guy jumps out of here early, then the offensive line are going to turn to those other two guys, and I'm going to be good to go unless that guy drops back and then comes. So because he's in the A-gap, I'm going to squeeze to him, and I'll be hot off the defensive end. Okay, so let's run this and see what we got. Okay, so here, all right, now I get it. Okay, so the reason that I was doing that is because this guy was backside. Okay, so he's over the ball or backside, so I'm worried about him being a blitzer to that side. Okay, once he goes to the strong side, which he starts to bounce to the strong side right there. Okay, now to me, we're going to change this call. Okay, now we see that, and now we're going to go 1, 2, back's going to go this A-gap, and we're going to turn those three guys there, and now I'm hot off the guy coming to the strong side. So I want my hot to be strong side. If the only threat to the strong side is the defensive end, then I'll make him my hot. Okay, if the linebacker gets to that side, now we change that protection and we've got those extra guys strong, and boom. Now we're good to go. I know I'm hot off of number 5 right there. He doesn't come, and I'm solid to that side. Okay, so it's all about where these guys line up. So he's here, he's backside or over the ball. Okay, I'm going to let my back take him, and I'm going to throw my hot front side. Okay, once he moves to the strong side where I know now he's in a position to cover, now we'll change that protection to get those other 6, which is really what the Texans do right here. And so we're solid. We're solid, we're protected. Now I can just come back, relax, and make a throw. Okay, so again, and we could decide. We could say, okay, he's strong here as well from the get-go. I got no problem with that. We're going to go here, 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 here. And so now I'm hot off of this guy. What usually happens in these protections, okay, if we've got this guy strong at all, is once again, this big guy will big duel it. And that's why when he gets to weak or over the ball, we call him as a weak side linebacker because we can't big duel the front side. But once this guy gets to the front side, now my tackle can big duel it. He can set deep, and if the Mike comes, he can take him, and then I'm hot off the defensive end. If the Mike doesn't come, he sets deep and he takes the defensive end. So it takes both of those guys to make me hot when he's to the strong side. Okay, so he starts to move to the strong side. That's what I would expect right here, is this big tackle right here to drop, and he's going to read both of these guys. That Mike drops, boom, I'm right here on the defensive end, and we're good to go. So much of it is dependent on how you see that linebacker or how you count that linebacker. Okay, so again, we could easily just say, okay, here's what we're going to do back there, and then we're going to slide these guys down to the inside here, and I'm going to make this defensive end hot. We can easily do that as well, and now I just got to throw off of him, but don't like to do that when this Mike linebacker is strong, and you see the issue why is because they don't drop him in this situation here. But it's all about defining who's got who in the mix. Okay, so the other thing that we could do, let's put this guy back here. So let's just say this guy's back here a little further. Okay, so the other thing that we could do is we could go and block it kind of like we're blocking it here. Okay, and I could point this guy and make him as if he's a safety for my backside receiver, my solo receiver to the left-hand side. And so just like we saw the safety come at other times, I can point number 5 because I don't think he's going to come because I think he's going to cover the back. But I'm going to point number 5 to the backside. So if he comes to the backside, we have a side adjust. If he pops over to the front side, now I've got a hot if he comes. So now I'm solid across the board with the front 6, and the stack guy is going to be my extra guy, and I'm going to point him out to whichever side he goes. Hutchinson, number 19. Hey, if it goes to the right, number 5. He comes, you got to look vertical. Hey, maybe Nico's to the left. Hey, he's to the left. Nico, number 5. If he comes, you've got to side adjust on the backside. So one way or another, we define it so everybody's clear and we have a plan. Okay. All right. So that was the Texans. We saw it over and over and over again. All right. So now let's look at a couple plays where it was handled correctly. Okay. So here we go in this particular situation. And here they come with the all-out blitz. Okay. So you're going to see, okay, we got 6 guys here. We got the overlap guy there. Say you always want to take the most dangerous. Okay, so to me, we're going to go boom, boom. Back's going to come up here. Now the guy being head up over the center. Center could take him. So the back takes his guy, which is the next linebacker. We go here, and then everybody outside of that is on Joe Burrow. If one of those guys come, we have to beat it with a throw. If he comes to the weak side, that's a side adjust if we don't have a quick throw on the backside. If he comes to the front side, that's a hot. Okay, so here we go. All right. The Bengals decided to try to squeeze it down and leave the end man on the line of scrimmage, which I don't hate, although they've got an extra guy up the middle, so the back should have to go up to the middle too, and they leave this guy free. But the more important part of it is this guy right here understands it. They're bringing them all. They're bringing extra guys. I am responsible to beat this with a throw. Bang, ball's out, touchdown. Right? That's how you handle it. That's how you have a plan. Okay? Yeah, maybe they can sort it out. Maybe they can protect it every time. But why am I putting it on them? I get it. That safety's my guy. When that safety comes, I got to beat it with the throw. Bang, there's my throw. There's my touchdown. Okay? Here's another one. Washington against the Packers. Okay, here we go. We'll bring them up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. Okay? Washington's in an empty set, so they only have 5 blockers. Okay? Who am I responsible for? Okay? For me, talk about this all the time. When I'm in empty, I want to slide away from the 3 receiver side because the 3 receiver side is where I have more options to beat them. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? Then we're going to go here, and then we're going to big duel this with the tackle. If 7 comes, I'm taking him. And the end man on the line of scrimmage is the hot. If 7 drops, I'm taking the defensive end, and we've got this picked up. But more importantly, if they bring all of them, okay, so that's what they do. They squeeze it. I don't know what they're doing on the backside. I don't know why the backside tackle is squeezing it. He should be right there, and this is the guy that's hot for us. I got to know, who's my guy, okay? If 7 comes, I know I'm hot off the defensive end. Defensive end comes, where's my answer? Where's my hot? There's my built-in hot. Bang. Ball's out of my hands. He's got no chance. I know what I'm doing. It's defined. Get it out. Let my guy go get a touchdown for us. Make them pay when they blitz by having an answer, defining it so the quarterback knows who is he responsible for. And if he does, and if you have built-in answers, this is the kind of stuff that happens, and defenses want to get out of it. All right. So here we go. All right. Offensive line should be saying, hey, I know which way the slide goes. The slide goes away from the 3 receiver sides. Okay, so that means we're sliding to the weak side without a doubt. Okay, those 3 guys are going weak. Those 3 guys have those 3. All right, and now these 2 have to take the other 3. Okay, we're going to go here, the defensive tackle as always, and then here is my big duel with my tackle. Okay, he's thinking defensive end, but if the Mike linebacker comes in tighter, is a bigger threat, he's going to squeeze that and he's going to leave the defensive end free. So they screw this up on the backside. No idea why they're sliding, why the defensive or the offensive tackle is sliding down. Everybody else is sliding out. And then you see the big duel on the front side. You see how the tackle starts to kind of kick back with his right, but now he's looking at number 7. Number 7 comes, squeeze him. Furthest guy away from the quarterback is the hot guy. Jaden knows that. He knows where his eyes need to be. Boom. Now I just got to beat the defensive end. He's right in front of me. Bang. Ball's out of my hands. And we're getting ourselves a touchdown. Have a pressure plan. Quarterbacks, system, blocking, protection. Have a protection plan every single time you break the huddle.